We're figuring this out.
All right.
Okay, I see the little thing bouncing. It's, it
It's
looks like it's working better.
It's receiving something.
Hold on. Yeah, man. All right. So,
what were we talking about?
Well, we were talking about the Dolphins, of course.
Dolphins, of course.
Yeah.
So, I believe the Dolphins will show up and win the division.
You think so?
I think I know so.
Man, they're giving us no credit right now. I saw I think it was the NFL Network. They had their little, who wins the AFC East.
Yeah.
And nobody picked the Dolphins. It was the Bills
and the Jets.
And the Jets. Okay? And all right. I get it. The Jets have a great defense. They did last year. And the Bills have a good defense too. But I don't know, man. I mean, I'm looking at it from the perspective of Miami just got Vic Fangio. They just got, Jalen Ramsey.
Yeah.
The big problem that we had last year is we had, 5 injured cornerbacks?
Yeah. Our
DBs?
Secondary was very slim. And we kept picking up secondary backs all season. So, yeah, it's certain. But I believe that all it's changed, man. You got the Bills losing Leslie. Leslie? The defensive coordinator?
Yeah, their defensive coordinator is gone. That's never good.
Yeah. Your key linebacker,
Tremaine Edmonds is gone
to Chicago.
Well,
you got some key guys gone in the secondary also.
Yeah.
So that defense isn't looking as good as it was last year on paper.
Yeah.
Let's just put it that way. But on paper, I mean, what we got? We got Holland. We have Jones coming back. You got now you got Ramsey. Mm-hmm. Now you got Howard. Who's the upcoming?
Kader Kohu was a top 20 guy last year, and he was thrown in that situation. So
yeah, and then we lost Roberts. We lost the free agency.
Yeah, but I like David Long.
David Long is good.
He can cover, which Vic Fangio's defense is going to ask him to be that guy that he likes to play like. That's how he's going to be able to play. And then Landon Roberts is just in the middle.
Yeah.
Just a run stuffer, basically. And David Long can do both.
Yeah, so. He can do it all. Also, our front four. I mean, you're talking Wilkinson. Phillips, another third year in the system. I mean, monster. Now you got Chubbs coming off the end.
Yeah.
I mean, the sky's the limit with this defense. I believe. They should have been the same defense they were years before. I think we were a top 5-10 defense the year before. And obviously the coaching change doesn't help. But let's see what this Vic can do,
That actually changed the volume. We're trying to figure things out, guys.
We're trying to get it together. All right, we're trying to get it together. We're having a bunch of malfunctions here. It's not pretty. It's not looking good.
Who cares?
But,
who cares? We're talking about the Dolphins, which is what we love to do. I know you guys love to do it as well. So, eventually we're going to get on StreamYard and we're going to figure out how to actually,
put it together.
Yeah, well, get you guys on too. So that's what we want to actually
and get feedback from you guys. You know what I mean? That way we can have an interaction with our people coming on live with us and hanging out with us at least.
I mean,
hearing this out.
We decided last minute because we've been talking about this forever.
Yeah.
And we're just like, man, why don't we just do it today? And it's been months, probably been a year.
God, we've been talking about this for almost a year ago.
Yeah. So we finally get to
spread our wings a little bit, see what it feels like out here together. You know what I mean? Yeah. I know Zach's been doing it for a long time already.
Yeah.
So I'm a little, probably got the little newcomer jitters, First
you're doing
time.
Good. You're doing good.
Hey,
man, I'm just excited about this team, man.
Oh, yeah, definitely. The team is going to be great. I think we're going to win the division.
I think we're going to win the division too. I think that as long, like we were talking about earlier, as long as Tua stays healthy, I think we have a good chance at winning it all, to be honest.
Yeah.
On paper, I do believe that we have probably the scariest offense in the league because, and it's not like, look, I see Kansas City and I see this developed situation between Mahomes and Kelsey. And these guys, they just like know where each other is on the field. That takes time, you know. And Mahomes is a different species too. I mean, he's crazy, man. He's a different animal altogether. But you know, and then you look at guys like from Cincinnati. I mean, their wide receiver core is ridiculous. You know,
you got Higgins, you got Chase, you have. I just called. I just played on Boyd. I just played a Madden with my son, and I scored a touchdown with him. So
I mean, he's good too. I remember a few years ago before they had Higgins, he was like a machine, dude. He was going at it.
He was already being considered number one wide receiver at one point, I believe.
Yeah,
you know.
So I'm not saying that these other teams don't have great weapons. What I am saying is I think that we're the most dangerous in the league because I think we got two guys. They're 4-2 guys. They're 4-2 in the 40. You know, nobody's catching them. And they, you know, and to be honest, and look, I'm not a conspiracy theorist or anything really. I mean, sometimes I dabble. But,
yeah.
But look, I'm pretty confident that every game that I saw where they really took advantage of our wide receiver core, there were way too many penalties going on that were uncalled.
Oh, yeah.
So if you call a normal game, I'm pretty sure that they can't bump us 5 yards off the line for the entire season, and these guys are going to eat like they did for most of last season, right?
And we also have to think about it. We're in a league where offense is king, other than defense. I mean, all the penalties, all the calls go towards the defense, you know. And it's hard to, you know, you gotta give these guys credit. You know, you have to come up with a scheme strong enough and powerful enough to stop these two wide receivers. I mean, how are you going to stop 4 point, whatever it is?
Oh yeah,
whatever they're
like
running.
Maybe Tyreek Hill's a 4.19. I don't know. I mean, the guy's fast. I don't know if you've ever seen him on the field in person, but it's unbelievable. Yeah. It's a different experience. The guy looks like he's just playing a different game than everyone else. It's pretty cool.
It's almost like chess out there. It's chess. You know, chess. He can read the defenses. He's almost like quarterback out there in the wide receiver position.
Yeah.
So I'm just a little disappointed on Sherfield. Well, obviously he's left the Dolphins. I was really hoping he
David
would have.
King. What's up, David King? Oh, I had this thing hidden.
And
I didn't even see that you were commenting, buddy.
And
yeah, we're trying to figure out. It is a little crowded. But yeah, we're trying to figure out a whole bunch. This is our first time going on. We're just using the webcam. I don't even know how this thing looks. I don't know how it sounds. So
hopefully you're enjoying the background.
Yeah,
nice little.
Hey man, we're getting a nice little sunset.
Sundown.
Yeah, man, it's nice. So, down here in South Florida. All right, so let me read what you have to say. So right tackle, man. I don't know, dude. Honestly, I feel like Austin Jackson is it irks me because I feel like the guy, if you look at his PFF ratings and in the things in the games that he did well, it was like 63, 64, you know, and that's pretty much consistent with, a little bit above average. So I think they see that and they go, oh, this is going to be okay, you know, and they don't even want to bring back Brandon Shell to have that fallback as well, which scares me to death. But I have heard some things in the background about them trying to bring in a right tackle as well. So maybe they're not satisfied. And I'm hoping, because I don't think that the guy, one, can stay healthy, and two, is any good really. So Yeah.
And I like how what David King brought out about Barrios, that pickup from the Jets. I think he's going to be real key. I feel like he can be a Wes Welker type. You know, put him in the slot. You know what I mean? Let him work in room because he's got the speed, and then he'll help out a lot in the return game. We desperately need help in that return game, other than putting Hill back there and jeopardizing our $1 million wide receiver. You know what I mean?
I'm always excited to see a guy from the U come back, you know, and I know that he must have hated playing for the Jets. I mean, it probably felt terrible putting on that jersey. It was probably so heavy on him because he's a Miami guy. He's a Miami Dolphins fan too.
Yeah,
and
100%.
You know, we
to go
don't
to
like Jets.
The Jets, come on, man. Well, I mean, and lately everyone's been waiting on this whole Aaron Rodgers deal to happen, which will happen.
Silly,
but you still have to put it together. I mean, you can get some guys out there. Lazard's out there now, and I think they got Cobb also.
Yeah, and they're trying to get OBJ, right?
OBJ, they're trying to convince OBJ. So they'll have some talent out there now, but I mean, you're looking at what? Maybe Lazard be his youngest target, other than Elijah Moore. I think Elijah Moore came up last year.
No, Elijah Moore's gone.
He's gone?
Yeah.
Okay.
They just traded him off.
Their first rounder? No.
Elijah Moore.
No way.
Yeah, he's gone, dude.
Oh, that's
it was so funny because they were all excited that they had Lazard and Elijah Moore and then Garrett Wilson, and then the same day Elijah Moore's gone.
Yeah. That's
so
now I take it back. You know, you're dealing with some old guys trying to put it together out there in the Jets side. You know,
I like Garrett Wilson. That guy's sick.
Oh, that's who it is. No, I'm sorry. It's Garrett Wilson.
Yeah.
Garrett Wilson came up towards the last couple of games of the season.
Yeah.
And he looked like the real good ball
He's
player.
good, man. Ohio State, they produce route running wide receivers.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what happened to Glenn again, but you know, that's a whole nother story for a whole nother day.
Yeah, he was just, you know, disappointing.
Yeah, disappointing as understatement. But again, you know, Elijah Moore, he's gone. So I mean,
David Long's nasty.
David Long, let's see. I mean, he has to prove it. Let's see it.
I mean, so, you know, he's missed 12 games in the last 2 years.
Yeah.
But if we look at Tennessee, I mean, I swear these guys, they can't stay healthy. That's got to be a problem with their conditioning. I would say it's all soft tissue injuries too.
Yeah, and also it's probably going to be better on him coming to a sunny area, playing in the sun, other than the cold all the time in Tennessee. You know, so it probably will benefit him health wise. You know, since he can play out here better in the sun.
Yeah, he is instinctual. And then, you know, the fact that the guy was the number 4 run stuffer in the league. You know, we got rid of Landon Roberts, and everybody's like, oh, God, who's going to stuff the run?
Yeah.
I mean, the guy, he did have some good plays.
Yeah, he was around. He made some tackles.
But he can't cover for anything.
I mean, again, that's what Baker's there for.
Yeah.
But I mean, he'll probably fit better in this Vic Fizio defense than Baker, I believe. I think Baker, he's on a prove it year, I think. You know, I don't know how much what his contract look like, but you know,
Baker?
Yeah. I know they signed him to a new contract somewhere around there.
Yeah, I mean, he's getting paid.
Yeah.
A pretty good
but
amount.
Still, hey, listen, you got to perform in this defense, man. Vic don't play. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. Vic doesn't play, and if he feels like you're not in the scheme of things and where you need to be, he'll hey, we gotta get whatever we got to get for him.
David said something too that I'm definitely really excited for, and that's the draft. Said something about tight end is deep in this draft for sure. It is deep, but I think there is a fall off based on what we want to accomplish. You know, I think Dalton Kincaid is probably like number 1, and then Sam Laporta number 2, and then Tucker Kraft number 3. And I think everybody's getting so psyched about Darnell Washington. And although the guy can block, I mean, he's insane as a blocker, and he's a big guy. So what? 6'7" or something, 6'8". I don't know. He's humongous, but he's not lateral at all. He can just go vertical, and then he gets like well, one thing that really freaks me out about that guy specifically, Darnell Washington, is his vert is terrible compared to the rest of the guys. At 6'8", how is the guy going to have like a 34-inch vertical?
That's terrible.
That's terrible.
That's terrible. But I mean, again, there's guys that have had terrible scouting, combine measurements, and they performed. I mean,
they perform, yeah.
Yeah, but again, you got to give these kids a chance. And then who's scouting these guys? You know what I mean? We have to go back to that. We were talking earlier about maybe improving the scouting on the college level, and getting these young guys to par. You know what I mean? To get into the system. Who's picking these guys for these systems?
Yeah.
Because freak. I don't know how many years it's been. We can't get a lineman with a damn.
Yeah.
And we've drafted first rounders, second rounders. We've drafted. We picked up, people's.
I wonder what that's
trash.
about. I wonder what that's about, though. Like, how is it that we can't hit on an offensive lineman to save our lives?
That's a hard question. I mean, it has to go with development and then the scheme of things. Obviously, coordinators, they want to run a certain scheme. Are we run heavy? Are we pass heavy? Do we want to do both? If we're wanting to do both, we have to kind of like, get, linemen that can hold their blocks and on passing downs and go down up, like you're saying, go up the field on running plays.
Yeah.
Open up these holes.
Which is what I want to see, like a seam threat / a guy that can go across the field like that. And Dalton Kincaid, Sam Laporta, those are those guys.
Yeah.
I know that we're interested in a guy like Brenton Strange, maybe at, day 3, like deep or whatever. But the guy, he's a blocker, he's a blocker. And that's cool. I mean, I'll definitely add a blocker. Yeah, no more Jesse Davis, thank God.
Thank God.
I mean, he broke to his ribs.
Oh my God, he lost his job when that happened. Trust me, it's hard.
But Liam Eichenberg is the worst.
I don't know, man. I feel like you still got to give the kid another chance. I mean, you got to at least break him off 2 years. I mean, listen, Tunsil wasn't that great. He was great towards the end of his season. Who was the other kid on the other side? That he got better at the end of his contract. All of a sudden, these guys get great.
You're talking about Jake Long?
Not Jake Long. It's
Jake
he
Long
played
like
alongside. He got there before Tunsil. We drafted him way before Tunsil. I forgot what's his name, but he was long gone. But also he played great at the end of his contract. And I think what it is, these contracts are given to these linemen, and they're not performing.
Yeah.
They're not performing to these contracts, especially when they're rookies. You know what I mean? These guys come in there and then they're playing the collegiate level, and collegiate level and NFL is not the same. You're dealing with two different monsters. Everybody else on the other side is just as good as you.
Yeah.
So you just got to be great. You know what I mean?
For sure.
And then what the hell happened to Eric Fisher? There was a big talk about Eric Fisher.
Wait, something happened to the guy?
I don't know if something happened to him, but he was non-existent. I didn't see him on the field, did you? Last year? Eric Fisher. He Kansas City, great. Did not make it. I don't know what happened. Did not make it. He got injured.
He's a free agent right now.
Yeah. I think they released him or something like that.
All right, let me see his PFF grade. What happened?
Yeah, no. So you got those situations. I think it's a big thing with our scouting, developing these guys.
He might have gotten hurt.
I think he got hurt. Like maybe the first or preseason he got hurt, something like that. I don't know where he got hurt.
Was he on the Dolphins?
Yeah. I saw him on the roster there.
Yeah.
He's restricted. He was a restricted free agent or something like that.
Yeah, he got put on IR immediately. He didn't even make
see
a game.
the field.
That's right.
So imagine we've given all this money to all these linemen, veteran linemen, for what? You know what I mean? I think we have to be better. Dolphins have to be better scouting and developing these players as we go. You know, it's not fair that we keep going year after year with the same old linemen and nothing's coming of it. You know, we're still looking like the same old Dolphins. Only difference is now that we're getting the ball out there quicker because our quicker wide receivers.
Yeah, we got quicker wide receivers, and then Tua also has certain benefits to him, and one of those benefits is that he gets the ball out fast. I mean, super fast.
Yes, he does.
He's got good time and accuracy, but none of that really matters unless the kid can stay on the damn field. And that's everybody's concern. I know that you see some radical people on both sides, some people that want Tua at every expense. It doesn't matter. He's our quarterback no matter what, even if, somebody fantastic was available for a cheap price, it's still Tua. No, we're not saying that, I don't think.
No.
I think that we're supportive of our team and our team players. But Tua needs to stay on the field, and if he can't do that, then I don't know what to say.
This is the year to see it. This is the year. He's got his fifth year right now, his 5th-year option. This is where it's gonna say ride or die or not. Because if all this money is being spent, and he's got a contract year coming right now, and if he can't stay on the field healthy, sorry, man. The business is the business. He has a beautiful arm, accuracy, but you got to be on the field, man. You got to showcase what you got, man.
So I'm hoping with this year, it's going to be a little bit different because I do think that some of these injuries are a little freak. Not to say the kid isn't a little fragile. I'll say the one where he got his ribs broken because Jesse Davis fell down and just let who was that, Milano, just destroy him.
Yeah.
I mean, Mike White got his ribs broken too. Aaron Rodgers got his ribs broken a few years ago, if you remember. So it happens, if you let somebody that's 6'5", 250, 60, 70 pounds, off the edge like there's nobody in front of him, he's a freight train. Yeah, you're gonna get a rib injury.
You're gonna get clobbered. And a lot of things, and not to say that Tua couldn't save himself. I believe there was plays Tua could have saved himself if he would have just tuck it and run it and slide. But I believe, you gotta give it up for his guts, man. He wanted to make the big play, and stick in there and take the big hit. But you gotta think about your long-term future, bro. You cannot be taking those hits. And you can see it right after he came back from the second concussion, first concussion, that he was running more. He was saving himself. He was helping the line out, even if it was not big chunk yards, you know what I mean? But no one was expecting him to run. Now he's a threat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now you made yourself a threat out there. And I think that's what we need. And that's why everybody, I think, is leaning towards Lamar.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They want a Lamar out here.
Well, Lamar is great. I mean, he's great for sure. But I don't know if he's well suited for this type of offense. This type of offense is almost for the minus athlete, not the plus athlete.
Right.
Somebody who is more plus mentally. Not to say that Lamar isn't a good passer, but I wouldn't say he's a good processor of the field. Mm-hmm. I mean, if he is, I've never seen it before because he's never been put in that situation before. I mean, that's not what the Ravens have been. They've asked this guy to just, make these throws that are high quality throws, but they're not high quality processing throws.
And I think the whole thing with them is that they didn't really give him any wide receiver help per se.
Yeah.
I mean, these guys were best a little over average, maybe. But, they got to get open for this guy, man. This guy's running for his life. But Ravens are a run-first team anyways. That's why I believe they didn't care to run, Lamar all this time, having him running freaking for Who knows?
They wanted Dobbins. They wanted Gus Edwards. They wanted their running backs to go and take it.
Yeah, and then their running backs got hurt. Dobbins, which was one of my fantasy. Thanks, Thanks, fucker. I lost my fantasy because of you. But anyways, we're not gonna go there. Yeah, I mean, he gets injured in the beginning of the year. There's no running back. Gus Edwards he's getting older. He can't run as hard as he could. And then all these other guys just couldn't cut it. I mean, they even tried with
what was it, Justice Hill, the guy that they drafted? They had all their. He's like a Devon A-Chain type.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it doesn't work when you have a.
Well, I mean, they even tried with Le'Veon Bell, right?
That's right.
They even tried with Le'Veon Bell, and look what that didn't develop. Yeah. I mean, they have a great tight end, hands down. Andrews is a sick guy. You know, next to Kelsey, he's my number two guy. Kittle's around that range, but he's another injury prone. Yeah. He needs to stay on the field.
I feel like if Kittle wasn't injury prone, if he wasn't hurt, he'd be my number one.
Yeah. I mean, he blocks. He catches
crazy.
Ridiculous catches. Yeah. I mean, I'm sad to see, going back to the Dolphins, I'm sad to see Gesicki gone. Yeah. But, again, listen, we live in a league where you got to be able to do both. I mean, it's not enough just to be a target out there because – again, Dolphins have so many targets. We got Waddle. We got Hill. You know what I mean? The third wide receiver. Or you got running backs. Dish it down to the running backs, Mm-hmm. We need more production in that and on that point. Tight end is a very needy issue, especially when it's blocking. Yeah. Because, we have to protect Tua.
Well, and he needs a safety valve, too. He needs a security blanket. And I feel like, this is something that, like Patrick Mahomes, Justin Herbert, like any of them that you can Aaron Rodgers, anybody that you can think of that is great in this league, they check down the ball all the time. And so there's a couple of options for that. There's, maybe you have a running back that their style is to get out in the flat and be a check down or whatever. And that's probably the majority of it. But if you look at like how Patrick Mahomes check down is to Travis Kelce. I mean, that's his go-to. If it's not developing, it's going to Kelce. And that's something that is definitely necessary, I think, for the Dolphins. And then you see Tua is throwing it 13 yards every single throw. Like that's the average is 13 yards. That's like 5 yards further than the nearest guy. It's crazy, right. And that's not sustainable.
No, we have to be able to go work our way inside, outside, and also run this ball. I mean, we got to get out there. We looked good when Jeff Wilson came into play, and Mostert, he looked good towards the end when Wilson
flickering right? So much.
Wilson got injured, but we need to get this running game started, bro. That's gonna help Tua tremendously if we can get a running game out there.
Yeah, and one of the guys from the draft that I'm super excited about is Jahmyr Gibbs.
Jahmyr Gibbs
from Alabama.
Okay,
and this kid, he looks like an Alvin Kamara, but maybe a little bit better as a pass catcher and not as good as a runner. Mm-hmm. But yeah, man, I mean, he's got good contact balance. He's, definitely a possibility. So,
I mean,
there's a couple of guys.
Yeah. I mean, I think in the draft, there was also a player from TCU, Kendrick Miller.
Oh yeah.
Kendrick Miller he went over there. He did a interview today, I guess, with the Dolphins today. They interviewed him today, and he looks pretty solid. He looks like the same thing where he's more of a pass catching, but also he's a quick runner, quick on his feet. Yeah. But again, all this is for nothing if we can't get that line to push forward.
That's true.
You know what I mean? That's the key thing for us right now is getting that line to push forward. Yeah. And it's been a long time coming. We need to get that developed. Definitely need to get that developed.
Yeah, for sure.
So
hey, man, all in due time. They got to see the sunset with us. They can't even see our faces anymore.
Enjoy it. This is a rare thing when you come to South Florida.
It's every day.
This is every day.
we get all of the pretty sunsets over here, but we're pretty far west, so
yeah. So
yeah, Broward County.
But yeah, I mean, I'm excited about this Final Four also, man. This Final Four, it's gonna be
Dude,
out of control, out of control.
We were at Bonefish Max, the last one for the UM game.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that was going off. But there were Texas fans sitting at the bar being loud.
Right.
So it was great when we came back and everybody's throwing it in their faces.
Listen, man, Texas. I thought Texas was going to be there because of their defense. Their defense all year was stout. Their offense was pretty good, but their defense was, bar none, one of the top ones in the college.
Yeah.
And UM just blew
they
them out the water.
They looked like they played bigger, didn't they?
Yeah.
And I mean, we just got them. Overwhelmed them.
I mean, and I love that kid. What is his name? Amari
on Texas.
Yeah, no, our center.
Omir.
Yo, keep playing, nasty. Keep hustling, keep getting that ball. He reminds me of Haslam. Yeah. Like just a straight hustler. Get it down there. I'll get it in. I'll get the rebound. I'll make something happen kind of guy.
A dog.
Yeah, he's just grit.
We like the gritties down here.
Yeah, and also that new other kid, Miller. Was his name Miller?
Yeah,
he had a big game last game. So it's just
Wong, Miller.
Yeah, if we can get all these guys to contribute the way they've been contributing now, and not have a setback, not have a bad game, or maybe even pack, have a great game.
I guess from what I've seen with UConn is you can't let them run it up quick. Yeah. You can't make back to back mistakes. And these guys, they execute kind of like Texas. Texas was, I mean, they couldn't miss that game. I can't even believe they were hitting all their shots. It was crazy.
Yeah. I mean, they were making some incredible shots also.
Yeah.
I mean, but
that's crazy that all the one seeds didn't even make it to the Elite Eight.
Yeah, not even. I mean, who we played in the beginning? I forgot who was it that they had. He was like All-American center. He's going to be coming out of the draft soon. He'll probably be a top 5 pick or something like that. The kid was killing it. Yeah. He had a high score, but UM kind of just kept up with the scoring and just had only him playing.
Yeah,
I forgot what his name.
And when we say UM, we're talking about Miami because we don't recognize University of Michigan as UM.
No,
you can get that shit out of here right now.
No, it's not. That's not I haven't even heard of a UM over there in Michigan. All right, why don't you just say Michigan? All right,
yeah, Michigan,
Buckeyes.
Those blue guys.
Yeah, no.
The Wolverines.
And FAU is another team. I think FAU has the highest. I think they have the best chance of getting to the championship than U. So I think U has a more
FAU. You mean
FAU? I'm sorry,
yeah.
FAU. They have the easiest route.
San Diego State. I'm not going to sleep on them though. They've played well.
But I think they can hang with them, man. I see them playing the same game, and it's just who's gonna miss and who's gonna come out with They just have that. Both teams have that grit.
Yeah.
So it's just who shows up and who doesn't. To me.
Yeah, man.
And I just think UM has a tougher task to get there with UConn.
Oh, I agree.
As good as UConn is playing,
but I think they can win.
I mean, UConn has been averaging 20 points over opponents. It's ridiculous what UConn has done, and they were favored. A lot of people were picking them in their brackets and stuff like that. So. Hey.
I picked the U in my bracket.
You got them either?
Yeah.
I picked the U. And listen, I picked the U to at least get to the Elite 8 because that's where they were last year.
Yeah.
And I was like, listen, there's no going backwards. And on top of that, this year, they were damn near undefeated at home. They only lost one game, and guess who we lost to? Fucking FSU. FSU, our rival.
The worst.
Go figure. It would be our rival. We would lose our first home game, too. You know what I mean? But we're not going to go there. FSU, FAU, whatever. FU.
Why does FSU always have something in their mouth? There was oh.
Yeah, it's probably where they're from. I don't know. We don't be all over here, ain't nothing. And then they want a vacation down here. Hey, what are you coming down here for? You know?
Yeah, you guys are great in Tallahassee.
Yeah, man. You got the beaches over there. You got Destin. You got all them nice little beaches down there, man. Yeah, come over here.
They got the beaches, but they don't have the beaches.
You know? They don't have the
Miami beaches.
Yeah, they definitely don't have that down there. But
we might have to get off. Well, I think we're losing light.
We're losing light now, guys. So,
hey, well, it was the first time. We appreciate you all.
Thank you for tuning in.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks for all the comments. We appreciate that too.
Shout out to David King. Thanks, brother.
Thank you, David King. All right, guys. Hey, be safe, be good. Fins up. Later.
You, baby. That was cool, man. That was